Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's see. Give me 1 minute. I want to make sure everyone, before we start, make sure you got your headphones, anything. Um, if you can't hear this one, you could probably hear him. You can't hear. There we go. This one, All right. All I want is in chat is be respectful. Don't mention any children, things like that. Make sure if you can't hear, make sure you have your headphones in. Trigger warning, please, if you feel it's too much, you can leave and I will understand. If you guys don't know what the Corey Johnson case is, it's based on a teenager boy went to a birthday party and he killed a 13-year-old Giovanni at the birthday party all over because he was in a religion group as a Muslim for ISIS. They told him to do it. I'm gonna break it down a little bit short of who Corey Johnson is. Corey Johnson knew his best friend Kyle's family since daycare times, and we went over Kyle Bancroft's mother and Kyle, the best friend. The part one is with the mother. Kyle Bancroft's mother went into the hospital. They came and visit her, got a little story there, and then we listened to the mother speak on at the interrogation room with the detective and got the full story on what happened. So in part 1, 2, and 3, it breaks it down how they met, how they known each other. Kyle was only Corey's best friend at the time. Corey had no other friends. Kyle was that best friend, loved you for who you were, whatever you were into, cool. Corey has plenty of times asked Kyle to be involved into this group with ISIS and all that. So, right now we are in part 4 of the Corey Johnson case. Corey Johnson will be in a room with the detective at this time. This was back let's see, March 12th of 2018. It was Giovanni's birthday. Kyle's little brother was at Giovanni's birthday. They known each other from middle school. Giovanni invited all these people at the birthday party, all his friends and stuff, and brought Giovanni back at home, said that, birthday party, whatever. At that time, Corey met up with Kyle down at the Springs. In the sink. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 minute. Corey messaged Kyle to meet down at Palm Springs, like a little hangout spot where all the teenagers, they met up with a couple girls. At that time, Kyle brought Corey back over to his house. They all hung out, stuff like that. Or between around 4 and 6 a.m., Corey started stabbing and killing, and you can hear it a lot from the mother's point of view and Kyle's point of view. Kyle was sleeping at this time and didn't hear nothing. He said he woke up out of bed with the man screaming. It was the cops telling Corey to get out. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Amber. So he didn't know nothing. He seen his little brother laid on the floor, all stabbed. There was blood everywhere. Sorry. So Kyle left out the house and got more information on what's going. They were on a standoff for Corey to get out. He had a knife, so they didn't want to go in there and kicked in the doors, but they threw in those smoke bombs that they throw through the window so they could smoke the whole house, and that's where Corey surrendered. As of right now, he is sentenced to life in prison. Because of that, his lawyers, at that time, he was a teenager. So they charge him as a teenager than an adult. So that's why he didn't get the death penalty in Florida. Because in Florida, when you commit a murder like that, you'll get the death penalty. It's one of the states that has a death penalty still, on top of, whatever. And then he got 2 attempts of murder, second degree. So he's in there for his whole life. So I don't know if he could try to get out or anytime sooner after the 25 years. But as of right now, that's all we know. Later on that night at the birthday, at the sleepover, Corey and them all made a joke that they were going to put on Kyle like a murder scene. So when he did wake up, he thought he was like getting pranked or something. Well, it turned out he wasn't getting pranked. So that is where we're at right now. This time is this night. It's probably March 19th, where you've seen the mother, Kyle, and now Corey in the interrogation room with the detectives, and they're asking Corey. You will see Corey strapped up into, in a white, I forgot what it's called, but they're strapped in a straight jacket. You'll see Corey in a straight jacket because he is the suspect. This is where they get questions at. So I'm going to share my screen. Make sure you guys put your headphones in. I am going to copy this link from Blue Dot. Throughout this time, we will have discussions. Hi, Stop the Hate. Good to see you. This is Blue Dot Interrogations. This is their link. If you guys want the link, please make sure you have your headphones in. I will put on the words so you guys can see. All right. So, all right, here it is, guys. So we are going to be listening to Corey Johnson.
You understand everything I just explained to you?
Oh, so he's not in a straitjacket. He's in like kind of a turtle suit because he has no shirt on. So I guess that's what they were wearing. I thought it was a straitjacket. But here we go. This is Corey Johnson.
All right. With these rights in mind, we're going to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, let me make sure I got your full name right. I know we spoke out at the scene briefly when I asked you what your name was. Spell your name for me.
Corey. Benjamin. You need the middle name spelled?
Yes, your full legal name.
Benjamin.
Okay.
John.
Okay. Corey Benjamin Johnson. What's your date of birth?
June 27th, 2000.
Okay, Corey. And where do you live?
I live in Jupiter. 135 Cape Point Circle.
135 Cape Point Circle in Jupiter? Where is that generally? I'm not that familiar with the city.
It's in Bluffs. It's right near Juneau.
Near Juneau Beach? So like by A1A and the beach.
It's Marcinski and I think it's US 1.
Okay, I know where that is. So how old are you today?
I'm 17.
Okay, what's the last grade school you completed?
I was completed.
What are you in now? You're enrolled now. What are you in?
I was in 11th grade at Dwyer, but I dropped out. I was going to take online school.
Okay, so the last grade you were registered in was 11th. When did you drop out?
I don't know if I'm officially withdrawing yet, but I haven't gone to school for a month or two.
Okay. Tell us about what brings you to Balance community.
He just turned
He go.
Doesn't get.
Okay, where does he live? And so it's Monday morning now. When did you go to the house?
Last night I was at downtown at the Gardens, and
When?
yes,
And she lives at that address?
yes.
Who all lives in that house? Is there a dad that lives with them?
The dad lives in Gardens, right next to Dwyer.
You know his name?
Under 10 years.
So you went to school together for a while? No?
I met him there was a place called ABC Montessori. It was a daycare. I don't know if it's still around. I met him there right after I first moved to Florida.
Where did you move from?
So
Missouri. With your mom and dad?
I moved with my mom and my two siblings away from my dad because he was not a good person.
Does your dad still live in Missouri?
He died when I was 10 or 11.
Sorry to hear that. So you just live with mom?
I lived with my mom, her boyfriend Jay, and my two siblings.
Who are your siblings?
Emily Johnson, Evan Johnson. Emily is 15, I think, and Evan he just turned 12.
So you're the oldest.
Yes.
They all live in Jupiter?
They all live at 135 years.
At Cape Point Circle?
Mm-hmm.
So did you Montessori together?
That's where I met him. Yes.
But were you classmates for several years, or you just met him there and then
I
you
never saw him at school.
never saw him at school?
I
I
knew him at ABC Montessori, and then briefly we went to another place when I got too old for that. I went to another place called High Tech Academy. I think they shut down, but he was there briefly, and then he stopped going. But I still kept in touch with him.
Would your mom and his mom contact each other and have you guys get together, or what? How did it work?
They used to be friends, but the past couple of years they stopped liking each other. She has a lot of problems. She has, I think, a heart problem, and then I think she had like a minor stroke, and she can't remember things properly now, and she's an alcoholic. So we just stopped being friends.
Okay.
Yes.
Being teens?
Yes.
Call each other, right?
What age are we talking about?
More recently now.
Yeah, I used to play with. Well, we used to play on the computer all the time, video games. And we talked over Skype and Discord, which I think like Skype. But recently we've been getting out more, and going outside and doing things, eating in restaurants.
What's your phone number?
My phone number?
Mhm.
561-402-3702.
561-402-3702.
Yes. I don't know.
It's in your phone?
It is, but we don't really talk over text. We talk over Telegram mostly.
What's Telegram?
It's an anonymous. It's secure, so nobody could read it.
What?
But I do have his number in my phone
I'm not up on that app. Why not just text each other? I mean,
because we don't. So I know I was on the FBI terrorist watch list.
okay.
They came to his house and they talked to him. So we just followed more security.
Okay. You're a young guy. Why are you on the terrorist watch list?
Because they think I'm going to join ISIS.
Why?
I guess I think I got on the list because I was just on YouTube. I was watching videos, and I guess I didn't know who he was at the time, but Anwar al-Awlaki.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, I guess I stumbled onto some of his videos, and then it got their attention. I guess.
What year was that?
This was about a year ago.
So it's March of 2018 now. You think it was like March of 2017 or before that?
I think it was March of 2017.
What's on the videos?
I don't remember what I watched.
Okay. Did they come and talk to you personally?
They came to my house. They talked to my mom and myself.
What did they say?
Just trying to. I don't remember exactly what they said. Just trying to stay away from bad stuff.
Don't watch the
Trying
videos?
to scare me straight. I didn't even know because the video wasn't about terrorism or anything. I think it was just a history video. But because it was by him, I think that's what got their attention.
So you say it's more like a documentary that was produced by
I
him?
don't remember exactly what it is. There's a lot of accounts that
Okay.
post just random speeches by different people, and I guess he was one of them.
Did the FBI talk to Kyle?
They talked to him a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I think 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. They came to his house and they talked to him and his mom, saying, "I'm a threat and I'm dangerous, and they think I'm gonna do something."
Why do they think that?
Because I guess I don't know.
You can be honest. I mean,
I really don't know.
okay. Do you practice?
So right now, what the detectives are doing is that he's asking these questions about what's your involvement with what how did you get the religion of a Muslim? Because before this, Kyle said he was in the Nazis. He was always in some type of group, for some reason. Um, at this time, he's 16, 17 years old. He's in 11th grade of school. Uh, they met at downtown in the gardens in Palm Beach. Um, he explained how he met Kyle. He described how he moved with his mom and two siblings, and the mom with the boyfriend. His sister was 15, his brother's 12. Dad's not there. Dad left, they left Missouri. So, left Missouri. All right. Kyle briefly went to school, same school with here and there with Kyle. You could figure why he did that. He was on the FBI terrorist watch, meaning the FBI was watching him, watching Corey. And the reason for that, because he started watching these videos, these documentaries, these things. In the beginning, they were just videos. Like Corey said, that it wasn't any terrorist stuff at that point when he started watching it back in March of 2015. The FBI officers came out, the detectives or whatever, they came and talked to the mom and him. And that's where we're at now, where the detectives asking questions about the watch list and his involvement in with ISIS and these religious groups, because there's no 16-year-old child gonna sit there on YouTube, and there definitely is these teenagers from 13 and up watching these crazy videos. And I don't know why people don't think the FBI or the terrorist watch is watching all this go down. Nowadays the world is so messed up in different countries. The USA is really overly protective of those kind of things, because look what happened in 9/11. All these things that the USA tries to protect. So that's where we're at now with everything. They're going to get more in detail of why he's doing all these things. So here we go. If you guys want to talk and chat, or you have any questions, just come ask. If you have any conversations you want to speak about, like any comments you want to put down and discuss about, we can. So here we go.
Practice Islam? Do you follow it?
Yes,
Okay. To what extent?
fully.
Fully. Okay. How does that work? I'm not familiar. Do you go to a mosque? Do you contact somebody locally?
Well, I used to go to a mosque maybe 6, 7 months ago. I stopped going just because I went during last summer, but then when school started, I because nobody would drive me, so I had to ride my bike.
Where is it?
It's in North Palm, I think.
Where?
I'm trying to think what it's by. It's by a car dealership, and I think it's right on the border of another town. I think maybe it's one of the bad towns, maybe Riviera.
I think I heard about that mosque. I think they had some vandalism or something. Someone
Yeah.
damaged the windows intentionally.
Yeah, that's the
So you say fully. What does that mean? As opposed to like just drop it in. What's the difference?
some people that claim to be Muslim, they just, to the extent that they maybe don't eat pork and they don't drink. I don't do any of that. I pray 5 times a day. I fast from Ramadan. Do all of it.
Okay. So you read the Quran. You follow the tenets.
Yes.
Okay. Are you the only one in your family? How did you get into that?
I got into it online. Just it matched up with what I already believed in,
Okay.
and then after a while, I decided it was right. So I converted.
So this isn't a case where your mom or your neighbor or an aunt or uncle said, "Hey, we go to the mosque. Why don't you come with us?"
Right. Nobody I know. Well, I did meet some people at the mosque, but besides that, nobody I know was Muslim.
Okay. Is there a head cleric there, a mullah, somebody that is there constantly? Who's there giving?
The two main people are the imam, which is I think his name's Saeed al-Maghribi, I think. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
And he's the president there. Oh, Sharif al Husseini. He's the president there. And Sharif was always nice to me, but I haven't spoken with him in 6, 7 months. So
How come?
just because of school, and then I was busy.
Okay. So the distance and having to ride your bike there became a little bit too much. Did the
Especially after school, because at that point I went to physical school.
okay? Were you still able to carry on prayer throughout the day, even though you didn't go?
Yes.
Um, did the visit from the FBI have anything to do with you not going there?
I started going to the mosque after the FBI came.
Okay.
So before that, I only prayed at home. Did my stuff at home.
Okay. Does it require you? Again, I'm not real familiar. Does it require you to adopt another name? Okay. Do you use another name?
Online, I go by Mustafa sometimes.
Mustafa? How do you spell
Mustafa.
Okay.
Just online pseudonym.
So that would be for your YouTube videos.
The only thing I really have is Instagram, just a personal account,
Mhm.
just to follow people, just see what they post. Just Islamic accounts mainly,
Okay.
religious quotes and stuff like that.
So were you able to get any support or information or religious studies online while you didn't physically go to the mosque?
Yes.
You were. And what was that money through? Online boards, websites, what?
YouTube, from Telegram, I got some like text documents from famous old scholars.
Okay.
Ibn Taymiyyah, and people like that.
Okay. So your intention was to go from downtown with Kyle. Staying with Kyle?
I haven't been home in about maybe a week or so because I've been having problems with Jay, my mom's boyfriend,
Mhm.
and I've been sleeping different places. Sometimes I slept at Sunset where I got arrested, and sometimes I slept. One time I slept at my grandma's house, and all the other times I slept at, I broke into this abandoned plaza, like It's like a warehouse. I can sleep in there.
Okay. So because of your difficulties with your mom's boyfriend, you've kind of been out on the streets a bit, sleeping away from home. Where does grandma live?
She lives in Twice.
What's her name?
Joanne. She goes by Jody. But yeah. And so today I was gonna go to work. I worked at Winn-Dixie, and I was a stalker.
Which one? The one on Northway?
No, it's on Military. It's by a CVS and a Jimmy John's. I don't know, not too good with the road name.
Okay.
I was gonna go there today, but my bike got stolen, so I just decided to walk to I was at the abandoned plaza I was sleeping in. That's around the area I was at. It's Military. No, it's not Military. It's US 1. It's a McDonald's on a US 1. It's near a Publix and a melting pot.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. It's up almost near Juneau.
Yeah.
So let's get back to downtown yesterday. You're there last evening, right? What time
Right.
about?
So I walked from there because my bike got stolen. I wasn't going to go to work,
Mhm.
and so I just walked to downtown with Gilly. He has a bunch of friends.
Do you go to a movie? Do you go to a restaurant? You just walk around?
We were mostly walking around, but it was someone's birthday today. Joe Blaney. He's the kid that slept over at my house. The one that slept over was the one with me.
Kyle's mom picks all of you up. Is that correct?
Yes, we ate there because today was his birthday.
What do you mean was?
I killed him
Where?
at the house.
How?
With a knife.
What room in the house?
It was at the top of the stairs.
Second floor?
Yes.
Okay.
And
What happened?
oh, so yeah, the mom picked us up and dropped us off at the house from downtown.
With the intent what? To have a sleepover?
Yes.
Hey Willow, good to see you. So right now they are about to get into. He just admitted that he killed Giovanni when he said was. You know what I mean? He did the was. So he's very, very eye-opening. He knows what the hell is going on. Like he said that proudly. If you could tell by his body language, the way he's sitting, the way he's speaking, he's not lying. He's honestly telling the truth. So, like he said, he follows Islam to the fullest. He reads the Quran, used to go to the the mosque, but he stopped going 6 to 8 months before all this happened. There was a vandalism happen a while back where they broke everything, like terrorized the neighborhood and the houses. They asked if he was involved because of the group. Got into online. After a while, he got into it a lot. Like he just looked at them for a while and then he got into it fully. The group was Alpha Saints. That's what they call them. That was called Stop Going Bike. Okay, so when they got done about the Muslim stuff and about asking him all these questions, like what was your nickname? His nickname was Musafaya. That was his nickname because he didn't use his name. He wanted a nickname. Mustafa, I think that was called. So when he couldn't go to these mosques anymore, or these things that they come as a group, like their own church, pretty much, he stopped going. He rode his bike and the distance was too long. So he just did the mosque for a little bit, like on YouTube, Telegram. Telegram's like a new text now app thing, I guess, like a new like WhatsApp thing. texts, and other ways to keep in contact with everything going on. Mind you, this is how it starts when a child his age or like teenagers start watching videos. They get in, like, it's like a video game. You know what I mean? When they get into something, they can't stop. So he started getting into all these things just to keep him, like, he feels like he's God, like he needs to be in control of something. This is what these groups tell him to do. He had a problem with his mom's boyfriend, so he hasn't been home a week, he said. So he texts Kyle, slept at grandma's house or anywhere he can. Just like he said, he slept at the abandoned building right around where he works at Publix. Okay? So what he did was he walked downtown, bike got stolen because his bike's got stolen. So he walked downtown. That's where he texts Kyle. Kyle told him to come here. Kyle's mom picks them all up. And right then when he said that, he went to the house. It was a birthday party. He said, the detective said, whose birthday? He said, I killed him. So it was his birthday. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at right now, where they're about to get into, and it gets more weirder. Like, it gets more like, so please, if you guys can't be here when you listen, please make sure your mental health comes first. Because the way he's about to describe it, I bet, it's about to be weird. So if you can't hear, please put your headphones in so you guys can hear. All right, here we go. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please, email me or comment, whatever.
Okay. Had you been sleeping over there previous to last night?
Yes, I've done it multiple times.
Okay. So there's a sleepover argument?
No, everything was fine. They just they were listening to music. And they were using Jewel, which is a vape, and just normal stuff for their age, I guess.
What's Jewel?
It's just a little USB sized thing. It's like a vape.
Yeah, was there anything in it?
It's nicotine.
Just nicotine. Okay, so when you say they, who are we talking about?
Everyone.
So that's it, just those three. And yourself.
I've used it before, yes.
I want to know who's present. So it's
Yes, it's them.
Kyle?
The mom was downstairs. It was
okay. And whose room are you in?
Dane's.
You're in Dane's room. Okay. Everybody sharing the vape, listen to music.
Yes.
Okay. What happens?
Nothing happens. They go to bed. There's and falls asleep there.
Okay. Then what happens?
And then I do my thing.
You do your thing. What is that? Be specific for me. I wasn't there.
Really comfortable.
Did he have an argument with you?
He was asleep.
Did he insult you in any way?
Not personally.
Did he insult Islam?
No, but he was one of the main, like the biggest sin you could do is called shirk. And it could either translate to polytheism or idolatry.
Mhm.
And like, it's like ascribing false gods. Like, and he was calling people gods. So,
Who? Actors? Did he say that to you?
just general, I think he was talking to me and Dane.
And he's sleeping at the top of the stairs,
Really.
which is outside of whose bedroom?
There's
where are
there's
you?
the area, and then there's a hallway, and it leads to their two bedrooms. They're right next to each other.
Okay. So around what time did he make those statements?
Just
Like earlier at downtown or while you were hanging out?
it was at the house.
It was at the
I
house.
don't know what time.
Did he know that he
What time it
was?
is now.
Did he know that he was insulting Islam? Okay. What made you upset?
That's what everyone does. No, it's just I'm used to hearing stuff like that. Didn't make me enraged or anything. Just I acknowledged it.
How did you acknowledge it?
Just in my head, I didn't say anything.
You didn't want to try and convince him or show him your point of view?
No, because people like that generally don't. The other day, I think maybe 3 days ago at this point, it's tomorrow. So I guess 3 days ago, I was also at down there laughing at me. That's what was happening.
That must have made you angry.
Yes.
It would make me angry.
And,
Did they say anything?
No, they're just standing there laughing.
But Giovanni was.
Up to yesterday.
You never knew him beforehand.
I've heard about him. I just met him today.
Okay.
Yesterday. Hospital.
I don't know. I know that there's people there with injuries. Okay, so that's why we're trying to find out everything. You said you didn't try and convince him. Did he know about your religious beliefs? Did he know how strongly you felt?
No, I hide it because of people. My best friend, pretty much my only, well, was my only friend, and he doesn't follow Islam, but he respects it and he doesn't make fun of it at all. He doesn't say anything directly to my face, but I know how he feels. He thinks it's weird, and he thinks it's part of the prayer. You put your forehead on the ground. He's like, "What are you doing?"
He's only 13, though. I mean, you know,
He's a lot more mature than
is it?
just talking about what he did with girls, like weed and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so I want to get back. I said to sleep.
Yes.
What do you do?
Well, you're recording me, and I don't want to say anything.
Okay. I want you to feel honest. All right. I want you to be able to tell me what happened. You said you killed him. You said with a knife. I want to know how. What happened? Where did you get? Was it your own?
When I was at the McDonald's, there's a Publix pretty much across the street.
Mhm.
So right before I was going to work to Winn-Dixie, I walked there to Publix and I bought some dates, I bought a drink, and I bought a 6-inch utility kitchen knife, which is
You mean like a box cutter knife or a kitchen knife, like just a straight edge?
It's called a utility knife. It's just a straight edge. I don't
Okay.
know why they call it utility knife. It's kind of like a combination between a chef's knife and a farming knife.
So like an all-around kitchen knife. No serrated blade, no folding, it's just solid. Okay. So why do you buy the knife?
It was for self-defense, I guess. Just wanted to. Other friend had a knife. I forget his name. I think it's Jimmy. I think.
Okay. So do you keep that with you? Do you have
I bought it today, and I was wearing those. I don't know if you saw. I was wearing black pants, and they're
I didn't see it.
puffed at the bottom, and they really baggy up at the top. So I had these really big pockets, and it fit in there.
Is it one of these that comes with like a plastic sheath on
Yeah,
it?
it had a plastic sheath. I left it in the bathroom with my wallet.
You left the knife?
No, because after I went downstairs, called the police, I ran to the computer room, and I originally was in the bathroom, and I took out my wallet and the knife sheath. I had the knife in my hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I left them in the bathroom, but for some reason I decided to go to the closet just a little bit away. That's where I hid until.
What?
So right now he is describing how he got the knife. He's describing how and why he started killing, because he was in Dan's room. Okay. He had like a USB thing that you hook up to your vape. So they were smoking a vape and listening to music. Giovanni insulted Corey. Like, this is how this all started. He insulted Corey about his like religious beliefs or whatever, or like gods. He said he made the statements at the house, and Corey didn't say, "Hey man, can you not?" But no, he didn't try to talk to him about this. Mind you, Corey is 16 years old. Okay, the boy is 13. He just turned 13 years old. You know what I mean? So his mind, where he's at, is a different length right now. He was talking about 3 days beforehand, there was people that was laughing at him and talking about this. So he went and got a knife, a 6-inch kitchen knife that was called a Tilly knife at Publix. And if you notice, Corey works at Dixie down there. He said he bought it because it was for self-defense. And it was today that he bought it. Not any other times, but he bought it. And he says he said it not even a few minutes ago that Kyle respected Corey as his best friend. Like anything he was involved or not, he respected him. All right, I'm going to start this. Give me guys 1 minute. I'm going to pause for a minute and then we'll start. I got to check on my daughter. You guys give me 1 minute, please. She had an accident, so give me a second. All right, I'm back, guys. So sorry about that. She had an accident. So right now we are about to get into why he started, what did he start, things like that. Um, so I hope you get your headphones on. Here we go.
What was going through your mind? What were you thinking when he's sleeping on the floor? Is it all the insults to Islam that have kind of built up?
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just that's one of the reasons, but just I guess, yeah.
Well, you tell me. I mean, I want you to be able to express what you're feeling. I mean, he's asleep, so there obviously wasn't an altercation at that moment. So, what do you think?
Just I know he's not a good person.
You could say it.
He's not a good person. He does weed. He does stuff with girls, fornication, and today's was his birthday. He just turned 13, and just a bad person overall. And then he went and said people or whatever are gods or godlike or something like that. So just all that stuff together.
And you were thinking about that?
Yeah.
Were you supposed to be sleeping in one room and you came out? What room were you supposed to be sleeping in?
No, I wasn't supposed to be sleeping anywhere. Everyone fell asleep in different on the floor and the top.
On the top of the landing of the steps?
You go up the stairs, there's an area. That's what it was.
And where were you?
The mattress.
Okay.
I was just on Dane's bed until I decided to go down.
Okay. And the knife is still in your pocket when you leave the room, the bedroom?
Yes.
Okay. Do you take the sheath off in the bedroom?
I had it on and off just because I went out there and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't do this.
Okay. And how did you do it?
Well, he was sleeping, and I think I had the knife unsheathed, and I stabbed him in the stomach, and then he woke up and started screaming, and then I don't really know exactly what happened after that.
Did you stab him again?
Yeah, I stabbed him a bunch of times.
Okay, where?
Everywhere, mostly in the neck and stomach.
And what was he doing?
He was screaming, trying to save himself.
Was he battling with his hands? Was he telling you to stop? Was he calling for help?
Yeah.
All those things. Do you know if his arms got cut at all when he was trying to fight you off?
I don't know.
Was he calling for? And then what happened?
She was just saying, what's going on? What's going on? You guys are scaring me. And then she eventually came up the stairs, and I lunged at her. She fell down the stairs, and I don't know. She was on the floor, so I guess she ran outside, and I guess she called the police from there.
So he's saying that, when you go upstairs, there's a big room. Like if you ever been in a house, when you go upstairs, there's a big room and the rooms are wrapped around. Well, that's how he described what the house looked up where they all slept. And anybody slept anywhere, they were saying. So I guess that night he was laying there and he got up and seen Giovanni laying there, and he started stabbing Giovanni in the stomach, the arms, everywhere. Where he was taught how to stab someone, that's where he was stabbing. And then he punched him, and all because Giovanni was a bad person, he said. Giovanni isn't a good person, smokes weed, sleeps with girls, just a bad person altogether. And because he was insulting his religious beliefs of the Muslims and all that and the gods, he had the knife. He said he was laying there. He got up, had the knife, and he started stabbing. And Giovanni was trying to fight like his he was fighting for his life. So here we are. So, like he said, the mother came upstairs, like she described, came upstairs, what's going on, this and that, and he lunged at her. And all you know is that's where the little brother came out, Dan, came out and tried to help his mother. So here we are.
Okay.
And I ran back up and I started attacking.
Slice or stab her?
Yeah, she got cut.
Where?
I don't know.
Okay. So she goes downstairs or out of the house?
I don't know. She was left laying on the floor, and he said he's scared.
Okay.
I attacked him.
Okay. How?
I stabbed him in the stomach. I think.
Okay. How many times did you stab him? Okay. And then what happens?
I don't know.
Why?
Just because I was on him longer.
Were you able to stab him?
And I think he's talking about Dan, at this moment, Kyle's little brother. So.
Anymore. I don't know where he is now. But I asked, "Where's?" And they said they don't know. They're with me. So.
Hold on, guys. I clicked on the wrong thing.
Yesterday.
So today's Monday. So you bought it yesterday, Sunday?
Yes.
Before you went.
Trying to
The
see.
knife. I had the knife on.
Oh, you kept the knife with you. Okay. What about your phone throughout this? Where's your phone?
All right,
I
talk about a phone.
saw my hand. My hands were all bloody. My whole arms.
How many times did you stab him?
Here we go.
Okay. And then what happens?
I don't know.
Why?
Just because I was on him.
Right.
Were you able to stab him?
There we go, guys.
Okay. And then what happens?
To go in and mess with them and say all these this stuff.
Go ahead. Share it. Like what?
We never said this exactly, but I can't think of any example. You gotta get up. Like we never said that specifically, but just
Some
around.
type of emergencies or
Yeah,
something that would
yeah.
startle him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I was like, Kyle, I'm not gonna hurt you because you're my best friend, but I want you to get up and I want you to. What I told him, I want you to just be up and I want you to accept Islam. I want you to be safe.
You want him to convert
Yes.
so that he could be saved.
Yes.
And what did he say?
He didn't say anything. He didn't believe me. He was just sitting on the bed, and then I opened the door, and you could, I think, throat was sliced, blood all over the carpet, and then I think he was just kind of sitting on the bed in shock. And then he was dead at that point.
He was dead at that point.
Lying on the airbed, bleeding.
Is he making any sounds, calling for help?
Something quietly,
Who's he calling?
just like making noises. No, just like noises.
Okay.
I don't think he was calling anyone specific.
You're talking to him. What's his response to you?
Well, he just woke up, so I think he was half awake, and then he was just kind of sitting on the bed in disbelief. And then, like, he thought I was joking because we always joke around.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, once he saw them, like, there were no lights in the room, but I guess eventually saw my hands were all bloody, my whole arms, all my clothes were soaked in blood, and just probably on my face too. And he started on his body, and he started realizing that everything's fine, or not fine. Everything's real. I wasn't lying.
Looking out the door?
I don't know if he saw it, but you can see it from where he was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw it or not.
No, I didn't.
No, if Kyle saw it.
Okay. So then what happens? You're asking him to convert.
I didn't expect a response from him because I always talk to him and say, hey, you need to convert. I want you to be saved. I want you to go to heaven, paradise, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
And he's like, I think he was getting kind of interested, and then, but he didn't really want to. So I guess he really likes bacon or something. He likes bacon.
Is that the response you were surprised by?
No, he didn't want to break 5. That was fun.
So right now, he is talking about when all the attacks happened. When for one, when Kyle woke up, he walked out and seen Kyle with the knife. Okay. And the police, whatever, and then you seen his little brother laid on the floor above the stairs. So when Kyle walked out, his brother was laid on the floor in blood, and there's splat blood everywhere. And then that's where Kyle seen the officers. Kyle didn't even see Giovanni. Well, the room that Corey was in, Giovanni was laying on the air mattress, moaning and groaning, and his last bits of life was making those sounds. So Corey put the knife on a stand and just sat there until he had to get out. You know what I mean? So now he's talking about his Muslim things with Kyle. Like, are you able to go to heaven, paradise, all these things. So now he's talking about his religion and all that. Went from killing them into the religion, why he did it. So here we are. It's really gruesome. So please, guys, trigger warning. I will post it in the comments. And then, so here we go.
My best friend, so I didn't want to attack them like with words, like saying, "Hey, I can't be your friend because you're not going to do this." So
Because he was at least supportive of your beliefs throughout your friendship. Then what happens?
at the house,
Yep.
I run downstairs into the computer room, and I at this point I was close to passing out because I was just like my vision was getting all blurry. I could barely stand, and I just sat inside the bathroom for a while, and I was sitting in the shower area, and I took my wallet out of my left pocket. I took the plastic sheath out of my right pocket. I just put them in the corner, and then after a while, I was thinking this isn't a good spot, so I run. I just tossed from there yet. So I just walk over to. There's the computer room. It's got a bathroom on one side and it's got a closet on the other. So I just go over to the closet, and I was hiding until I.
Had you left your wallet and the knife in the bathroom? You did.
The knife sheath. I had the knife on me.
Oh, you kept the knife with you. Okay. What about your phone throughout this? Where's your phone?
I have no idea.
But was it somewhere in the house?
It must have fallen out of my pocket when I attacked Giovanni. Maybe I left it on the top of the stairs.
So you're in the bedroom?
I assume so.
Okay. And then what happens?
Well, I was there for a while, and then.
Is this a clothing closet? Or like a utility closet where they store?
It's like a walk-in closet, the things you pull open, cabinet.
Like a drawer.
Drawer.
Yep.
She had drawers and she had a shelf.
Okay, so you're in there. Is there a light on?
Yes.
Is there a window?
Yes.
To the outside?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in there, the light's on, then what?
I just waited there for a while. Nothing much happened until the police showed up, and then they started telling me to come out. And I was in there.
How are they telling you to come out?
Just saying, this is whoever, or not, this is the Guardians Police Department. Come out with your hands up.
Okay. What's your response?
I don't say anything, or if I say, "Why you left it go on?" And
Can you repeat it? I don't understand.
it's Arabic. It means there is no God but Allah.
Okay.
And I just in there for a while, and I was in there for maybe an hour until they started getting serious, and they brought in like a robot, and they were shooting the door with something. Like I saw the bullet holes.
How do you know there's a robot?
I saw it.
Okay. You have the door open to the closet?
When they were trying to break up. It's just a push, like a fold door,
Mm-hmm.
but they were pushing it open with something, and it got open a bit, and it opened even more when I threw down the shelf onto the ground and kind of opened the door too. So
Okay.
I saw the robot, and I heard the robot. It's got the voice saying, "You need to come out." And I eventually just I throw my knife out so they know I'm unarmed because that's all I have. And then I sat in there for maybe another 5-10 minutes, like thinking what to do. And eventually, I just they right as I was about to come out, for some reason they threw some kind of gas, tear gas. I don't know. And it started making my face burn, my eyes burn. I couldn't breathe. But I was coming out anyway, so they didn't need to do that. But I come out, they say put your hands up, and they get on the floor. So they hit him with the shield, and they smash me down on the floor with the shield.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put the the wire handcuffs on me.
Okay.
So right now he's describing what he was doing after the murder to when he got caught. So let's say he was in there for about 30 minutes through all this. So after he was talking about how Giovanni was on the air mattress, he moved from a room into the bathroom, and he sat in the bathtub behind the curtain, and he had the wallet and the knife. And so he was trying to cover, like, whatever, trying to do whatever he was doing in there. He left his wallet in the bathroom, took the knife with him, and then went into a walk-in closet. And while he's in that walk-in closet, he's trying to figure there's a window. So, hi, Shelly. Good to see you, honey. So there was a window, and I guess while he was in the closet, he sat there for about 5-10 minutes trying to figure out what he was doing. And before he was coming out of the closet, he said there was this robot that came in there to let him know, the cops will come in and bust the door down or whatever the case may be. And before all that happened, he said he seen it. They took it to open the door, and they threw that gas stuff, that like gas bomb things, into the house. So when they said, "All right, get your hands up," they hit him with a shield and handcuffed his ass. So that's where we're at. And I think he was only in there for about 30 minutes. Now he's going to get into, they asked about his phone. He said, "I don't know, the phone went somewhere. He don't remember where he put the phone. He threw the knife." So he knew he was going to get caught. So that's where we're at now.
Okay. And they take you out. They take you
me
out.
and then
Okay.
everything else.
So the last you know, to your belief, and correct me if I'm wrong in any of this.
Well, when I was like talking back and forth with the police when they were trying to get me to come out, I said right here, but they wouldn't tell me anymore. I don't know where it is now, but I asked where is and they said they don't know. They're with me. So.
Okay.
When did you buy the knife?
Yesterday.
So today's Monday, so you bought it yesterday, Sunday?
Yes.
Before you went downtown? What is that abandoned building that you were staying in?
Well, It's a big plaza. It's not completely abandoned. On one side they have there's a Domino's and a liquor store and I think a nail shop.
Okay. This was up by the melting pot
Yes.
on US 1 towards
Yes.
Gardens, Juneau, right up there.
And that Publix is in that plaza right there. That's where you bought the knife.
It's at a different plaza, like across the street and out below.
Okay. That's where you bought. You bought it at a Publix.
Yes.
What time do you think?
2, 3.
In the middle of the day.
Is it the Publix with the Duffy's next door or the other one?
Yes, yes.
Yes, the one next to Duffy's? Okay. You paying cash or credit?
I tried to use my pay card from work, but it didn't work, so I used cash.
What's the pay card?
At Winn-Dixie, if you don't have a checking account, then you could get a pay card. It's like a debit card that they just deposit your money into and use that. So I just use mine.
We don't get over there too often. The abandoned place where you're staying, is it in the same plaza that Publix is in?
No, it's across the street. It's on the other side of the street. It's right by the McDonald's.
Okay.
And
That's a little farther north of there, right? Okay.
and we did that plaza for a couple weeks now, and we found there was a fire escape room. Everything there is abandoned on the side we were on, except for the other side, which is where the Domino's is. So we were just there, and we not broken. The door was open, so we just opened it.
Oh, is this unlocked?
Yeah.
Do you have property in there or anything?
Property.
Yeah.
My grandpa owns houses, or duplexes and a triplex nearby, but I don't know.
No, in the plaza where you were living, where you were staying. Do you have any of your stuff in there? Prayer stuff or?
I kept all my stuff with me. I had a backpack. I brought all my stuff there and packed it, and then when I leave,
So you don't leave anything at that abandoned warehouse?
So your backpack is at the house.
my son lives.
You have property in there? What do you have in there?
I have my work clothes, my Winn-Dixie shirt, my pants, a box cutter for my stalker, name tag, and some matches.
Any Islamic stuff? Any literature? Any?
No.
You don't keep a Quran with you?
I had an app on my phone,
Okay.
and yeah, I have a prayer rug and a Quran at home, but I didn't bring that. And then I had some.
That's at your home where your mom and
Yeah,
siblings
pretty
live?
far. And I just had some dates on me as well from earlier Publix.
Were you ever in communication with anybody on the internet? Over in Syria or anything like that?
No.
Nothing like that.
Any other country?
I talked to this one girl from Indonesia, but that's it.
So let's go back to this morning. Corey, I guess I understand what happened.
So if you don't guys understand why the detective is asking him all these things, because he wants to know where everything's at. He wants to know if he had any type of property with Islamic literature, anything on there, because it is high class. It's like very high. When I was saying this earlier, when people are in groups like this, it comes down to killing somebody or destroying someone's life. And some children get in things like this because they don't fit in, or they don't have friends, or, they want to belong somewhere. And I guess before all this, he was a Nazi. He was in Nazi groups. So he said that he started watching a few videos, and then boom. And he's asking, where's all these things? He kept everything in his book bag. No matter what he went, all his stuff or the app on his phone had all his information on there. All what he was watching, what he was doing, things like this. The detective is just trying to get comfortable with him and get in his mind to know why you're such a young kid that sat there, because this boy, this 13-year-old boy, insulted you. You couldn't just be like, okay, dude, like, just please stop. No, you're like, you know what I mean? And then kill him, and then go after your best friend's family. For what? So when a murderer is in that mindset of killing, and it was kind of very weird because he knew how to kill. He knew where to stab. He knew how to do it quietly. He knew how to do these things. And I guess when you are in a group like that, you have to kill somebody. Like it's just so scary to think like that one of our children, hopefully, or our children don't go in groups like this. So they were just discussing, and in parts of this, what they're going to discussing, some of this, might, what I mean, might sound like, oh, okay, boring, but it's really, you got to watch his body language. You got to see how he speaks. You got to see what the detective says. This is how they analyzes a suspect when it comes down to it. So now he's just said, okay, let's go back to the killing. Let's go back to how this happened and why. Because there's more to it than insulting a kid, insulting his religion.
What happened? Why now? I'm hoping you can help us understand. Like there in the past, is that right?
Yeah, but she's always had problems with me, and she's texting for a stay over, and she talks about how she doesn't like me, and she thinks I'm a bad person, bad influence.
Why?
I don't think she likes Islam.
Had she insulted Islam before?
No. Well, not really. I mean, she's talked about like, oh, you should come to church. Like, oh, you don't need to go to the just because you're Muslim, you could still go to church, right, and learn about Jesus and stuff like that. Just nothing like insulting, but I don't know if she's just ignorant or.
How do you feel about that?
I just said no, I wouldn't like to go. That was the end of it.
But how do you feel about it?
Just
Did it make you angry?
no, it didn't really affect me. Just saying I didn't want to go.
I mean, you told me. I'm just trying to figure out why you would attack him first if he's the person you met the most recently.
Because it was just the easiest. Walk downstairs in her room, laying on the floor.
Had you been speaking about your beliefs at all earlier on in the night? And the conversation didn't go well, you got mad, and that's when you planned to do it when they went to sleep?
No, I didn't talk about beliefs.
When you bought the knife, did you have it in mind that you would hurt the next person that insulted you or your religion?
Well, I was thinking for self-defense, but I was thinking like if anything like this happens, at least I have it. So it was mostly for self-defense, especially since my bike got stolen and I saw some kids that might have done it. And I flashed the knife and they all ran away. But that was yesterday. But I guess I was maybe in the back of my mind thinking I could do something like this, but it wasn't the main plan.
Did you have a location in mind, maybe other than the house or other than these people?
Just anyone.
Maybe people were more strangers, or what was going through your mind?
So he was asking him, did you ever plan on killing someone? And he's like, yeah, I had in mind that I would do this, but, I didn't think it was going to come down to this. It was more of a self-defense because my bike got taken away and some kids took it. Like, no. And I guess because all the rage he was holding in because they were bullying, kids will bully him for his religion beliefs. And then his girlfriend kind of just didn't wonder, like, why, didn't understand it. The girl he was talking to, I guess, didn't understand it. And she was being ignorant about it or whatever. He didn't think that he was going to start killing somebody the night at Kyle's because Kyle is his best friend. He didn't want to hurt anyone. But that's on his case. This is what he's telling the detectives.
Just
When you went to Publix yesterday, what were you wearing?
what I got arrested in, I was wearing a maroon T-shirt and rim cuff, pants there, kind of sweatpants. See, they had like an elastic waist and
What color were they? Black, so like sweatpants.
I bought them from Urban Outfitters. It's the only, the only other things I wear are jeans and khakis. So those are the only kind of thing I got from there. Just because I was just trying to fit in by buying those. Just look like everyone else.
Do you keep in contact with anybody from the mosque you were going to? How many times did you go there?
A lot. It was just over the summer though, so I don't know. I didn't keep counting.
Did you go to Italy?
And like you said, he was just doing it just to fit in, like wear the clothes, wear this, wear that. He just wanted to fit in what he was wearing. He wore a Muslim maroon shirt with some span flat. You know how the Muslim wears. That's what he was wearing. Things like that. And now they're asking, have you talked to anybody recently from the mosque recently? And he, like he said, a lot just over the summer. He didn't counting. Did you go there? Like how many times did you go there? How many times you kept in contact with people? Because people can get in people's heads, and that's what happened. This young kid had this group to get in his head. There's some type of psychologically why this has happened.
Well,
I'm not familiar. How much do they encourage you to go?
well, you're supposed to go every Friday,
Every Friday?
but that's like the holy day. Christians have the Sunday, and but they also had these classes where they just taught about Islamic stuff, and they were on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I sometimes attended those.
Oh, okay. You didn't meet anybody there that you became friendly with or anything?
I was always friendly with Sharif, the president, but
Did he teach these classes?
he taught sometimes when the imam wasn't there. The imam's like the priest,
Right.
and so when he wasn't there, Sharif taught it. But besides that, he just he was always around, but he didn't always teach the classes.
The imam?
Sharif.
Oh, sure.
You mentioned it made you angry, and you were glad you had the knife when your bike was stolen. You flashed it at some kids. You said it was yesterday.
Yes.
Where was that?
It was at the plaza because I had my bike locked to a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I came back and it wasn't there, and the lock was on the ground. It looked like somebody smashed it and it broke, and they took the bike. And I saw some kids acting suspicious. It was 4 kids, and I started like heading their direction, and then one of them was like, "Hey, what's up? You good?" or something like that. And I pulled the knife out of my pocket just to show them. I kept it close to my side, and they all ran away. So,
Were they about your age, younger than you, older?
about my age.
About your age. Was that the abandoned plaza, or is that the plaza you work at?
Let's see.
The abandoned plaza. So your bike was gone. Had that made you angry throughout the day?
No, it's just I wasn't really upset or angry. I just couldn't go to work though. I was actually headed
That
to
would
work.
make me angry if someone stole my bike.
I was heading to work on foot, but I wasn't even halfway there, and I was already like 30 minutes late. So I decided to. He was at downtown, so I just decided to head there instead.
You walked there. So I want to try and just have you explain to me again the incidents in the house when Johnny first, he hadn't attacked you physically, right? You weren't.
No,
There was
he
no
was-
physical self.
So before we get into what happened that night again, this is a lot what detectives do is they'll go here and then they'll bring them back and go here and then bring them back. So like he said, someone smashed his lock. It was, I don't know how, but the lock was wrapped around the tree in the bike, and they smashed the lock. Took the bike. The lock was on the floor. He seen 4 suspicious kids, and one of the kids said, "Hey, you good?" And he took his knife out and flashed it. So and then the officer's like, the detective was like, "Are you mad? Like, did you get angry?" And he said, "No, I wasn't angry. It's just my transportation to work, and I didn't have a bike." And I was showing them, like, listen, don't fuck with me. That's pretty much that boiled down to that. So, and then the detective asked, like, did they physically, like, hurt you? Did they, the person you stabbed, did it physically hurt you? So here we are again.
Defense
he
on your
did
part.
nothing to me personally.
And no one had attacked you personally. And you didn't pre-plan this, like, when the time is right, I'm going to use my knife and hurt them. Can you describe to me now what you were thinking? What made you take those actions then?
Well, I wanted to hurt some disbelievers for what they've done, and then everyone. I was just on my phone, and I noticed everyone was asleep. So I figured, I guess now's a good time.
Were you talking to somebody? Were you reading scripture or what?
I was just watching YouTube videos, like unrelated, and then right before I decided, when I was thinking, oh, maybe I might do this, I was reading just random verses from the Quran.
When you say you were looking at YouTube videos unrelated, what were you looking at?
Just it was just like a comedy videos. Really, there's a YouTuber called Grade A Under A. I was just watching his videos, completely unrelated to.
And at some point, you switched to reading verses from the Quran.
Well, I was watching that, and then I kept. Then I switched from that to some language videos because I like languages, linguistics.
Okay.
And after I watched a couple of linguistics videos, that's when I noticed everyone was asleep. I was thinking, maybe I should do this.
And what time was that? You remember from your phone?
Around 4.
Or you guys stayed up all night?
At what point do you start reading scripture? Right after that? After they go to sleep?
After they go to sleep, and I go out at the top of the stairs where Giovanni is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I don't know how hard it is to kill someone with a knife. And I was just thinking, I was just trying to get some motivation, I guess, for reading the Quran.
Did it help?
What specifically?
What do you mean?
Verses, what?
Well, I wasn't reading any verses like related to it. It was just about Moses. It wasn't anything to do with what I did or any guidance or anything. It's just they called me.
I'm not real versed in the religion, so I'm going to ask the question, and you just tell me yes or no. Was there any type of formal or mental decision on your part to hurt disbelievers in general, like prior to that time, or was that just impulsive, like at the moment?
It wasn't impulsive. I knew I wanted to eventually hurt some. In Arabic, called kufar. The singular is kafir. Disbeliever.
Mm-hmm. And what does that mean? What's the translation?
Disbeliever.
Disbeliever.
Kappa?
Kafir is the singular, kufar is the plural.
And
How
how
it translates to disbeliever?
and how long ago did you know that you wanted to hurt some disbelievers?
A long time. Just
A year?
yeah. I mean, a couple months after I converted, I guess, when I started learning about the religion properly.
Okay. And we're talking March or
Well, I
June
guess
of last year?
I guess I converted on the January 1st of the 2017. So
And how did you convert? How is that done? Is that done at the mosque? Is it done
no,
online?
you just say an Arabic phrase.
Okay.
And then you start
So
praying.
continue. You converted January 1st of 2017.
Yeah, and I guess since the FBI stopped by around stopped around about March, so it was somewhere between January and February, or January and March, where I started bringing it up. I guess that's one of the FBI terrorist watch list.
Did
So he's talking about now how he got converted into, like, okay, I'm converted. He got converted January 1st of 2017. So it has been a year and a couple months after he did his first killing. And it was tonight at this time, like where he's at, it was that day. Because of the insults that he's been getting over the time, and then the insults that Giovanni was given to him, he was a disbeliever, and he wanted to just hurt someone, he said. I just wanted to hurt someone. Before he did the killing, he was on his phone when everyone was sleeping, watching things from the Quran, reading scriptures, language videos. And then after he got off, he noticed that everyone was asleep around 4 a.m. He was thinking, how hard to kill someone. So the first person that insulted him that night, he took the rage from someone taking his bike to Giovanni not believing in anything when Giovanni probably didn't even know. And if you heard Kyle's statement, Kyle asked Corey, please, can you take the videos down? And that was in Kyle's room. So when everybody was sleeping around 4 a.m., he was up watching this in his head, watching videos of anything or anything. And he was probably looking up, how do you deal with people who disbelieve or insulting him from doing this? So when he let the mosque know that he was converted January 1st of 2017, that's when he took everything personal. He started getting more angry. He was trying to bring people in that didn't believe. And Kyle was like probably his number one because that was his best friend. But Kyle didn't understand that. You know, Kyle probably thought, oh, it's a religious group, just like a Christian, Catholic, things like that. But no, it wasn't. So around that time, that's when the FBI came around and had a talk with him and his mom, like, hey, man, like, you should get out of these groups, and, you know, you're on the terrorist watch list now. So that's where we're at now.
was there any point that you became more dedicated to that? For instance, did the FBI visit sway you one way or the other, lessen it or increase it?
Well, at first it scared me a little, so I just started to lay low. But after a while, I started being a bit more open about it. Scared him, but it didn't really affect me. They're saying, "Oh, I think he's going to do something soon." We didn't seem to scare him enough when we came over a year ago.
Did any of that thought process involve any weapon, any gathering of weapons? Do you have guns, explosives?
Well, the FBI was concerned that I get to my mom's boyfriend's guns because he's got a refrigerator-sized safe filled with guns. But I never got him. I never even held it. I don't think. The only thing I knew I could get was a knife, which is why I bought one.
So you couldn't get your hands on any guns. You couldn't get any
Not even if
explosives.
I
or
wanted
anything.
it.
Okay. So there's nothing at your house or your mom's house?
Like guns, explosives.
Yeah, anything like that. Nothing at the abandoned plaza we were talking about? So the only thing you get was a knife. Okay. So would it be accurate to say that you had been thinking about this in some respects since the spring of 2017? or before the visit from the FBI?
I guess slightly before the visit, and then they got a little scared, and then they visited me, and then I guess it didn't change. So
Okay.
just sort of since then.
Okay. You need some water?
Yeah, I'll take some.
Why don't I get you a bottle of water?
Did anybody ever talk at the mosque about doing anything like this?
I never like convincing me to do something like this.
Or talk, just speaking about it?
Well, they're talking about talking against scholars like Anwar al. So I didn't say anything. I just went along with it.
Oh, they would talk against them?
Did I get him a water?
Is there anything else you wanna tell us, or want there to be a record of that we haven't asked you, or
No, I don't think so.
no? I'm not sure if we got it here. Did I get it here?
Hey, Rosemary. So at this moment, they were just asking him how, did you think about any other weapons? And he said that the only thing he could get is a knife. Couldn't get any guns out of his mom's boyfriend's safe. It was a I can't speak. The fridge. It was the size of a fridge safe. Refrigerators, like that type of safe. So they had all the guns in it, and the only thing he could get is a knife. So he asked if, ever since January 1st of 2017, you were thinking of these, or you were obsessive with these things. You kept with the groups and all this thing. So for a year, over a year and a couple months, he's been, seems like, for me, in my opinion, is that he's been trying to want to kill someone unbelievable, but he didn't want to kill his best friend because his best friend accepted him. And I believe if people didn't insult him or anything on his beliefs, this right here wouldn't came down to what the hell he was doing. But he kept doing this since 2015 when he started first doing his videos on the Muslim religion belief in the ISIS and all that. So, and the detective asked if there was anything else you could say. So we'll watch the rest of this and see what is said.
It's Emily and Evan is your brother and sister, right?
Yes.
How old was Emily?
Emily's 15. Evan's 12.
What was your mom's name?
Jennifer Johnson.
What's her phone number?
561-222-0547.
0547. Has she been calling? You haven't been home in a couple of weeks. Has she been calling you? Worried about you?
She's been texting me. She disabled my 4G on my phone, so I haven't really been using that. But I
That
guess,
slows it way down, huh?
but I guess she's still been trying to text me, and like the night, like I wasn't even planning on doing this, but I haven't been talking to her, and then tonight or last night, I said I love you, and I said I'm safe, I said I'm fine, and she just said, all right, I'm glad you're safe. I hope you come home soon. I love you.
Okay. You sure there's nothing else you need to say? No, I'm just asking, giving you an opportunity.
I guess not.
No?
I don't think of anything.
Just sit tight for a few minutes, whatever. We'll get done. Just get more out. Make sure we get that.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thursday.
Yes.
So something I didn't ask you, and we have trying to get this from the point of view of your actions. Everyone's there and their mindset. Was there any drugs used last night? Any weed? Any pills? Any synthetic weed?
The only thing we had was the vapes.
The vapes?
All it's got is nicotine, and I didn't use
How about your health? How's your health?
physical health and
Yeah.
mental health.
Both.
Physical health, I guess I'm alright. Mental health, I have I take a Zoloft. Well, I did. I haven't taken it in a while. I had took Zoloft, like an antidepressant, and I see a psychiatrist and a psychologist.
Okay, so what's the psychiatrist's name?
Psychiatrist.
Mhm.
I've only seen him twice. His last name's Cohen.
Cohen?
Yes.
It's a male?
Yes.
Do you remember his first name?
I don't.
Do you know where his office was? Is it around Gardens Jupiter, or was that of a
It's
hospital?
Further, it's further. I don't know where it is. My mom always drove me. I've only been there 2 or 3 times.
So it wasn't based in a hospital. It was an office.
Yes.
Um,
The psychologist I talked to more. I talked to him a couple times.
who's he?
His name is Gary. It's either Wilkin or Witkin, something like that.
Where's his office?
I think it's near Northlight. It's around that area. It's close to where I was at it's near that area.
So somewhere around North Lake and Military?
Yeah.
He's a doctor, a PhD?
Yes.
You said Wilkin or what?
It's either Witkin or
Oh,
Wilkin
Witkin.
because
I'll get you some more in just a moment.
okay. Because before I saw him, I saw a counselor, but wasn't much help. So I stopped seeing him, and his name was one of those. His name was also Gary, and it started with a W or something like that. So I don't know which one he is. They had almost the exact same name.
Who prescribed the Zoloft?
The psychiatrist.
Okay. And
I was on 50 milligrams for a month, and then I didn't feel anything, so they upped it to 100 milligrams a day.
and when was that? We're talking
Recently.
a year, 2 years?
Recently. Weeks, months.
So we're in March now. Would you say it was somewhere around the New Year? Before the holidays? After the holidays?
Even closer. It was really recently.
Recently.
Yes.
And when did you stop taking it?
Well, I just stopped taking it a couple of days ago because I didn't have it on me. I didn't bring it in my backpack. It's at my house, so I couldn't take it.
And how much were you taking a day?
It was just one pill, but it was 100 milligrams a day.
So you've been off it now for how long? About 2 weeks, you said you've been out on the streets?
No, less than. I haven't taken it in maybe like less than a week, a couple days, 5 days, 4 days.
How do you feel then opposed to now?
I don't feel any difference when I take it or I don't take it. Okay. I don't think it's working.
Did it make you sleepy at all?
Did nothing.
Didn't do anything.
It's supposed to make you sleepy, but it's either supposed to make you sleepy or it's unrestfulness. It just depends on the person, I guess. But I haven't felt any effects, side effects, or intended effects.
Okay.
That's
Is
why I
that-
up my dose. That's why I double.
Is that psychiatrist the first psychiatrist you've been to?
Yes.
Have you ever been Baker acted where you're taken to a psychiatric hospital?
My mom, I think my mom's threatened to bring me to one before,
Okay.
just because of like suicidal talk.
And how long have you had suicidal thoughts or talk?
I mean, how long? A month or 2, 3. just maybe even like, or just like it started like around 2018. It got serious. Like I've always been happy with it. It's got more serious in 2018.
Okay. You go to a psychiatrist and you sit down and talk with him for some length of time? Does he
The
administer any tests?
psychiatrist I don't talk to. He just prescribes the medicine. The psychologist is the one I talk to and discuss my day with.
So let's start with the psychiatrist first. He was first out of the two professionals?
First I visited.
Yes.
No, my mom was worried about.
Right now, he's playing the suicide card, like most murders have done. He's talking about how he's on Zoloft. He sees a psych doctor, and like nothing has changed. They boost from 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams. There was no drug use, no nothing, only vapes, the smoking vapes. His physical was fine. If you notice, he was super calm through his questions with the detective. So we're gonna dive more into wow, he's just chopping it up with him about his mental health and his suicide thoughts. Of course, he's gonna play that card. He might have suicide thoughts since 2018. But I don't know if you're on mental health meds, and this is from coming from somebody personally that knows it. If you're on mental health meds and you're not doing any action, because your mental health meds is not gonna, it only helps you with your brain, okay, your mental. But you have to put some action involved in certain things that you're doing, because the mental health medication, it's only going to help so much, like 50%. You have to put the other 50% in for to get, for you to feel better. You don't do the opposite, because I know when I got on antidepressants, they gave me the opposite of what it did to me with my brain and my mental health. And I noticed that when I started getting more angrier, more meaner, I didn't enjoy life. I felt like I was in a comic book where it's only black and white and everything else around me was colorful. It's like that umbrella, like a dark cloud above your head, and it's just everything's raining on you, but there's sunshine somewhere else. So you're going to listen to more, like, if you notice, he's been calm. There has been no emotion. That is what you call a sociopath. There's no empathic in him. He doesn't feel bad what he did. And then he said during this that when he walked out after doing the smoke, when he went outside, he was asking for Kyle. Now, if my best friend killed my family and you were asking for me, hell no. Hell no, dude. No. Don't ask for me. You're not even my best friend no more. You stabbed my mother, stabbed my brother, and you stabbed my brother's best friend. Like, no. So that's what you call a sociopath. He's a psychopath. All right, we'll dive in more what a sociopath is. And, we'll do a segment on sociopaths and narcissists and things like that. All right, let's get back to it. I think we only got about 8 more minutes to this. I'm sorry, guys, it was so long, but we had to get through it.
So she got me to a psychologist, and the psychologist said I needed to see a psychiatrist to prescribe me the medicine.
Okay. Did either person talk with you and tell you or confirm what you thought you were suffering from? So did they tell you what the medication was supposed to treat?
It's supposed to make you just more motivated, less depressed feeling.
Less depressed. You feel you were depressed then?
Yes.
Okay. You feel that took part or had anything to do with what happened last night or early this morning?
Well, I guess because I don't really care about my life, I figured if I die from the police, then it doesn't really matter.
Why?
Because I don't really feel like I wanted to be alive, because I don't enjoy life.
And that's been mostly since 2018, or was it earlier than that?
I've always felt like that, but it's gotten worse in 2018.
You said your physical health is fine, so you've seen doctors where you have no complaints. Okay. Do you suffer from any seizures or any traumatic brain injuries or anything? Okay. And prior to this medication, which was administered in 18 or prescribed in 18, you weren't on any medications, other than maybe for an illness or something. Okay. You don't have seizures. You don't have hallucinations of any kind. Can you describe generally how you were feeling before everyone went to bed that night? Was there anything unusual that day?
No, nothing unusual. So I was feeling just my normal
A
self.
little tight.
Yes.
Go ahead, you can finish your answer.
What was
You
I
said,
saying?
I asked you how you were feeling before everyone went to bed, generally that day.
I was feeling all right. I was just normal. I wasn't feeling any different than I normally do. Just normal self. It was the opportunity is why I decided to do that today. Not because I was feeling any different than I normally do.
Lift them up, sorry.
So the fact that everybody was asleep
Yeah, just made it easy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
and wouldn't put up much of a fight.
Yeah. Rather than like going out in public and attacking some people.
Do you think this would be more successful because of that opportunity?
Well, what the plan was I was going to. Because I've never done anything with a knife before. I wasn't really expecting one. And then I finished him off, and then I got it. And Elaine woke up. That's got everything messed up.
It got a little bit more complicated.
Right.
He wasn't as passive or didn't shut up as fast as you expected.
The knife wasn't. It's not meant for that. It's just put in the kitchen.
Go ahead.
Just it's a kitchen knife. It's not meant for self-defense knife, or cutting knife, stabbing knife, or anything like that. It wasn't effective. It slid, and it didn't have a grip, so I got a big slice here. My skin's open. I got this big chunk cut off, and then I can't even feel the top of my finger with that. Knuckle cut here, just because the knife was like stabbing him, and then it just because of all the blood, it was slippery and it slipped and it cut me that way.
Did it fall out of your hand?
All right, I think we're gonna take a break. We'll get you some water. You finished that pretty quick. Obviously, pretty thirsty, so I'll get another cup of water for you. You all right? Otherwise, need to use the bathroom.
No.
Did you eat normally yesterday?
Well, for me, normally I usually only have one meal a day. Usually I don't eat much. Yesterday I had McDonald's. I had a 20-piece
Chicken nuggets?
nugget at McDonald's, and then I had one slice of pizza. Big party at I think it's Grimaldi's, something like that.
Grimaldi's inside downtown.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Because he was there because of his birthday, and that's why he had a sleepover. Normally he wouldn't be able to because this is the school today. But his parents allowed it.
Play that? Do you like mom and dad and aunts and uncles? His whole family.
All right, that's pretty much the end of it. Pretty much what at the end of it, he was just chopping it up with him. So here is Blue Dot and their channel. If you guys want to go to their channel, you could look them up. It's Blue Dot Interrogations and Crime. They got all kinds. There's another one I want to do actually, but I'm gonna find it find another story that I actually watched on there, so I don't have to take notes. I can actually tell you guys what happened. So his mental health, he was talking about his mental health and how he took Zoloft and all these things. And that brings me back is when you're taking an antidepressant, right? And you're not doing the work and you say, oh, it's not working for me, because you have to do the work. Well, he had a counselor and a psych. And when you see a counselor and a psychologist, they're there to help you. And honestly, I don't really think he tried to tell his psych or his counselor what he was going through mentally, physically, and emotionally at home. Because the more I read on of it, his mom was a drug addict. And the boyfriend was too. So he had all that going on. And then he had 2 siblings, his brother and his sister. So before all this went down, a week he was homeless on the street, sleeping in abandoned buildings. And the only best friend he had was Kyle. But then he got a job. So he was trying to do something, trying to make it, whatever kept him occupied. So he got in all these videos and things because probably, honestly, he just wanted to fit in, like he said. In the beginning, he said, he wanted to just fit in. He wanted to feel belong in something, because in his real life, nobody, they were making fun of him, and Kyle was only his friend. Here's a StreamYard link, guys, if anybody wants to come up, or it doesn't matter. So I just know on our next segment for true crime, we're going to dive in the sociopath. Okay. I'll put a note here. Notes. Okay. Something like that. A psychopath and a sociopath. Sociopath is people that are social. So we're going to dive in a few of those. So hopefully you guys will be here. We're going to get into body language, things like that. And I guess this is the last part of the Corey Johnson. Well, we can let's look up a few more things before we go. The court. Okay. Let me look it on Google, because, people just. Corey Johnson court docket. Oop. Capital case.
I'm sorry, Mommy.
You're fine, baby. Nope, wrong one. Give me a minute, guys. Hold on, guys. Someone's knocking on my door. Okay. All right, let's see what this is. Jury sees Corey Johnson confession video as a prosecution resistant murder trial. Okay. Here we go. If it plays. So there's the confession tape we watched. And then I don't know, none of this was Monday, November 1st of 2021. It's taking forever. My Wi-Fi is so slow today.
We are this national newscast, but we're made up of a bunch of local voices. We have 4,000 journalists around the country. They know the voice of the people there.
The National Desk, America's News Now.
Let's see now. What just happened?
Prosecution arrested their case in the trial of a teenager who says he was inspired by the terrorist group ISIS before he killed a 13-year-old and then stabbed 2 others at a birthday party back in 2018.
Today, the jury heard from Corey Johnson in a taped interview with police. CBS 12's Andrew Lawful was in the courtroom.
That interview was about an hour long, and the jury saw a then 17-year-old Corey Johnson try to explain to police why he would stab 3 people at a sleepover, including a boy he had just barely met. Handcuffed in a white jumpsuit, Corey Johnson detailing to a Palm Beach Gardens police detective his 4 a.m. knife attack.
Today's is what it was for
Whose birthday?
Giovanni.
What do you mean was?
I killed him.
Johnson chronicled the year leading up to that March 2018 murder, his conversion to Islam, visit by the FBI, and his depression. The prosecution argues Johnson was cold and calculated, his defense that he's mentally ill and should not be held responsible. He's pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. So why did he go after Giovanni Sierra first, the boy he had just met hours before? After converting to Islam, he thought about hurting disbelievers, but told detectives he didn't have anyone in mind. He said Giovanni was a disbeliever, in part because he credited celebrities as gods, which bothered him from a religious perspective. As everyone else was sleeping, Johnson was reading the Quran. At around 4 a.m., he would start his attack.
Because it was just the easiest, I guess.
Do you feel that took part or had anything to do with what happened last night or the earliest one?
Well, I guess because I don't really care about how long he figured if I died in the police.
Corey Johnson was also prescribed the antidepressant Zoloft, but he stopped taking it leading up to the attack. The prosecution has officially rested. The defense is up now. Their first witness, a woman named Jennifer Johnson, Corey Johnson's mom. What they're going to try to do is convince the jury that Corey Johnson is so mentally ill that he wasn't fully in control when he killed Giovanni Sierra. Outside the court.
Well, I try to look for the body cam and I can't find any of it. So if I find it, I'll put part 5 up. But if I can't find it, then I'll put up like the courts and stuff like that. But usually they copyright claim me and take my whole video down if I play any videos from the courts and stuff like that. It's different from playing news videos and literally court videos. So that's it. That's just what the Corey Johnson's case was. And so my next segment will be on sociopath and psychopath and narcissists. I'm going to do a little bit of research. We're going to go through some things together to get an understanding of the true crime aspect of what true crime is and what these murders' minds and brains act like. I think I'd be so fascinated to find out what it is about. So I hope you guys are here for this, and whoever is watching this replay, thank you for watching. I hope everyone hits the thumbs up or thumbs down no matter what. If you like to donate to the channel, you can. Everything is in my about page here on the channel. So I just got real bad fucking news, and I'm just really over it. This whole thing, the shit goes on YouTube. It drives me fucking insanity because no one knows what the fuck I walk here at home. So I hope everyone has a good day. Please say prayers for me and my family. My prayers are for everyone also. And I hope everyone has a good day, morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are. Be kind to yourself and others. And just know you're worth it. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Check out anything in my about section. Make sure your notifications are on. And we will see you next time. Bye.